Ever pondered why a 12 by 8 shed is essential in your backyard? Sheds have been a staple in backyards for generations, and there's a good reason for that. They provide practical solutions to everyday problems. A 12 by 8 shed, for instance, offers an ample amount of storage space. It's the perfect spot to store your garden tools, seasonal decorations, or even that old bicycle you've been meaning to fix. No more clutter in your garage or basement. With a shed, everything has its place, giving you easy access when you need it, and out of sight when you don't. But a shed is more than just a storage solution. It can also serve as a workspace. Whether you're into woodworking, pottery, painting, or any other hobby that requires a dedicated space, a 12 by 8 shed can provide just that. It's your own personal sanctuary where you can focus on your craft without any distractions. It's a place where creativity thrives and where masterpieces are born. And let's not forget about the value it adds to your property. A well-built, aesthetically pleasing shed can increase your property value. Potential buyers see it as an added bonus, a feature that distinguishes your house from the rest. It's a selling point that can tip the scale in your favor when it's time to put your house on the market. But perhaps the most rewarding aspect of having a 12 by 8 shed is the satisfaction of building it yourself. It's a project that challenges your skills and pushes your limits. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to achieve something tangible. It's a testament to your hard work and dedication, standing tall and proud in your backyard. So you see, a 12 by 8 shed is more than just a structure. It's a storage solution, a workspace, an investment, and a source of pride. If you're excited to construct your own 12 by 8 shed, stick around to learn how. Building a shed isn't a Herculean task, especially when you've got the right tools and materials. To kickstart this project, you'll need some sturdy, weather-resistant lumber. Think along the lines of cedar or redwood. These will form the backbone of your shed. Now let's talk about the tools. You'll need a circular saw for cutting the lumber, a drill for making holes, a hammer for driving in nails, and a tape measure to ensure everything fits just right. And don't forget a level. That's crucial for making sure your shed stands straight and true. While we're on the topic, let's also talk about screws and nails. Opt for stainless steel or galvanized ones. They might be a tad more expensive, but they'll stand up to the elements far better. And last but not least, a ladder. You'll need this to reach the higher parts of your shed. With all these in hand, you're ready to get down to business. Like any great construction, a solid foundation is key. So, let's sink our metaphorical teeth into the heart of this project, laying the foundation for our 12 by 8 shed. First off, you'll need to stake out the area where your shed will stand. This is where your trusty tape measure comes in handy. Measure out a rectangle that's 12 feet by 8 feet. Use string to mark out the perimeter and ensure that the corners form perfect right angles. Precision here is paramount, as any deviation might throw off the entire structure. Next, we're going to dig out the area within the string to a depth of about 6 inches. This is to accommodate the concrete blocks that will serve as the foundation for our shed. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a good foundation. Take your time and make sure it's done right. Now, onto the matter of leveling. This is one step you can't afford to gloss over. An uneven foundation could lead to instability down the line. Use a spirit level to ensure the ground is perfectly flat. If you find any high spots, don't hesitate to dig them out. Similarly, if you discover any low spots, fill them in with soil and compact it firmly. Once you're satisfied with the level of the ground, it's time to position the concrete blocks. These should be placed at each corner, as well as at intervals along the length and width of the shed. Again, make sure each block is level. The blocks are your shed's first line of defense against the elements and the test of time, so no cutting corners here. Once the blocks are in place and leveled, it's time to install the timber floor joists. These will form the base of your shed and provide support for the walls and roof. Ensure they're evenly spaced and securely fastened to the blocks. With the foundation laid and the joy of a job well done, we can already envision our shed taking shape. It's a testament to the importance of laying a solid foundation. Now that the foundation is set, it's time to raise the walls. The walls of your shed are not just for privacy, but also for protection. Let's get started on building those walls, shall we? First off, you'll want to measure out your wall sections. Remember, we're working with a 12 by 8 shed, so plan accordingly. Once you've measured, it's time to cut. Be sure to double check your measurements before you make that first cut. Remember, measure twice, cut once. It's a mantra for a reason. Now that you've got your wall sections cut, it's time to attach them together. This is where your hammer and nails come in handy. As you're nailing these sections together, keep in mind that you're creating a protective barrier for whatever treasures you'll be storing in your shed. So make sure it's sturdy. But what's a wall without a window, right? If you'd like to add a window, now would be the time to cut out the space for it. Remember, you'll want it to be square, so take your time with this step. Now here comes the fun part, raising the walls. This might be a two-person job, so grab a friend if you can. Start with your back wall, and then move to the front wall. The side walls go up last. This order of operations helps ensure everything fits together nicely. While you're installing, keep in mind that these walls need to be square for the roof to fit correctly. Use a level to check your work as you go along. It's much easier to make adjustments now, rather than after the roof is on. Trust me on this one. And there you have it. Your shed now has walls. Take a step back and admire your handiwork. But don't rest on your laurels for too long, because we've still got work to do. With walls up and sturdy, we're halfway through. Next up, the roof. The roof, your shed's shield against the elements. Now that we've established a sturdy foundation and raised our walls, it's time to top off our project with the roof. This isn't just the cherry on top, it's an integral part of the structure that will protect your shed from rain, snow, and shine, so let's make sure we do it right. First, we'll need to cut our rafters. These are the beams that will support the weight of the roof. Measure twice, cut once, we all know the drill. Once cut, we'll position them evenly across the top of the shed, forming a sort of skeleton for our roof. Next, we'll fasten the rafters securely to the shed walls. Always remember, safety first. Make sure each rafter is sturdy before moving on to the next one. Now, onto the sheathing. This is the layer that covers our skeleton, providing a flat surface for our shingles. We'll lay down our sheathing, ensuring each piece fits snugly against the next. Once our sheathing is secure, we can move on to the underlayment. This acts as a secondary barrier against the weather, providing an extra layer of protection for our shed. We'll roll out our underlayment and secure it to the sheathing. And now the final step, the shingles. These are the first line of defense against the elements, and they also give our shed a finished look. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up, overlapping each row of shingles to create a waterproof barrier. Before we wrap up, let's touch on the importance of the correct pitch for rainwater runoff. The pitch or slope of your roof is crucial. Too flat and water can pool, leading to leaks. Too steep and you risk wind damage. Aim for a middle ground, where water can easily slide off but the roof remains secure. With the roof over your head, your shed is almost ready. The walls are up, the roof is on, and we're one step closer to having a fully functional 12x8 shed. Stay tuned as we bring this project home in the next scene with the finishing touches. A few finishing touches can transform your shed from functional to fantastic. Now that the hard work is done, it's time to let your creative juices flow. Consider painting your shed to complement the colors of your house or garden. A bold color can make it a standout feature, while a more muted tone can help it blend seamlessly into the landscape. You might want to add shelves inside your shed. Shelving can maximize your storage space, keeping your tools and equipment organized and easy to find. Maybe even install some hooks for hanging tools or a workbench for those DIY projects. Think about outdoor enhancements too. Window boxes filled with colorful flowers can add charm and character. You could even add a small deck or a comfortable chair where you can sit and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And there you have it, your own 12x8 shed, built with your own hands. Now stand back and admire your handiwork. You've earned it.